Welcome everybody to the Paladin Data Corporation webinar series. Today we are going to be speaking about Unlock Your Business Potential with our newest LBM features. Hope you're ready for some exciting information. This is truly work in progress. We have added so many different LBM features in the last several years, and especially as of late we added some other features. These features are a subset of Paladin. It's just a brief view of what you're going to be what you can find in the Paladin system, but I'll be going over specific features that are advantageous not just for LBM, but for all of our customers. You can see the agenda today is just LBM feature review. That's all we're going to talk about today, and there's a section at the end where you can learn more. So my name is Charles Owen, been with Paladin about 10 years now, and really enjoy it. In my primary position here as Chief Retention Officer, and I have the distinct privilege and honor to be able to present to you on certain webinar series. Keeps me in touch with the product and our customers. So in reviewing LBM features today, we've got just a number of items on the list here. I'll be going down this list, going into each one of these and kind of addressing each one. Hope to keep this presentation to about 20 minutes. So in beginning with profit analysis. So the Profit Analyst is a tool that is there in the invoice as well as, well, no, it's just in the invoice screen. So an invoice quote screen, and it will show you your profit and your margin and your costs when you're building quotes. Very powerful feature, great for salespeople, great for managers, great for owners. Not something you want cashiers necessarily using. But this feature is highlighted with a little red asterisk, as you can see to the left of it. And if you go down to the bottom, it says now available with right-click mouse feature. So all the first half a dozen items I'm speaking of are all available in a right-click feature using the mouse at invoicing. You just go on any one of the items in your invoice and right-click, and you'll see this functionality. Footage calculator is another one we'll be going over. Subtotals on quotes, yes, we are able to subtotal all the quotes based on a grouping, and then you also have up to 6 decimal points for things like quantity and price, as well as inserting items, inserting line items, notes anywhere on the quote, and then updating prices on quotes. So you can bring up a stored quote, and if you want to change the price to a current price, just one click away. Other things, 1,000 board foot, inventory conversions and PO conversions, stored quotes, orders on holds, we'll be covering all of that. Convert quotes into orders, where you can actually sell a partial order, restore the quote, and bring it up later for selling additional items. Hide itemized invoice pricing on quotes. I'll show you that. I'm excited about that. That's a very powerful tool in your arsenal of LBM features. Special orders, we have newly revised it, and it's a whole wonderful way to do it that's a little bit different than what you've been doing. Projects, job tracking and reporting, we'll get into that a little bit. Authorized signers verification, yard order forms, delivery order forms, and then also our new, or not so new, mobile to deliver scheduler and the mobile to checkout mobile app. Custom discounts and pricing plans, minimum margin protection, and accounts receivable. Those are the items that we'll be reviewing. Getting right into it. The first one, Profit Analyst. As I mentioned, anywhere in the quote, while you're building your quote, you can see the cost, profit, and margin. You don't have to jump to the inventory. You don't have to search for those items. And not only does it give you the specific cost, profit, margin of individual items, but also your overall invoice. So very powerful tool. You can access Profit Analyst tool by either right-clicking on the item and selecting Profit Analyst, or up in the top left-hand corner of the screen, do Edit Profit Analyst on the menu bar at the top, or you can just do Alt-A, and that will also bring this information up. If you're not using it, you should consider it. It's a very, very powerful tool. All right, Footage Calculator. This has been in the system for a while, but we also added it to the right-click features, so you can get to it also from that edit screen or with the hotkey Control-K. But what this does is it allows you to identify different sizes of pieces, and it will tally all those items up for you and do all the hard work for you. And it will also show in a note field below that the different sizes that you've put in. So it's good for molding. It's good for anything you sell by linear foot. Metal as well is also good. Subtotals on quotes. Again, part of the right-click features. If you select Insert Subtotal, it'll enable you to put in a subtotal name. So you can break the invoice up and subtotal those different areas. It's calculated, always calculated from the previous subtotal. So prices will change if you happen to go and insert. For example, if you insert something into that particular subtotal or into that grouping, it will re-update the subtotal cost. So it's showing you a couple of different screens here. I'm showing inserting a line, and it changes the subtotal cost. So another very useful tool. Up to 6 decimal points. Now, so this is also included in the right-click feature. If you hit Add Precision, it gives you 2 choices. You can change the quantity up to 4 decimal points and the price up to 6 decimal points. Gives you the extension when you do that, and it actually, on the single line item, it just shows you out to 2 decimals, but down below in the note section, it gives you the breakdown exactly what is going on. All right, inserting notes anywhere on the quote, as well as items anywhere on the quote. So you can click on any line item, right-click, hit Insert Line, you can enter a new item. You can also go to any line and click right-click and do Insert Note, and it'll put it right there on that particular note. What's useful about this is, before when you insert a note, it always went to the bottom. Now you can actually put a note on the very top line or anywhere in between on the quote. Also, delete line is also another feature that is in there. It's also the F3 key, as you know, but this is another way to do it. And for the last right-click feature, we've got update prices on quotes. Now, this may or may not be in the version that you're working with today, but I was so excited about this, I just had to share it with everybody. If you don't have it, it will be coming soon. You can update current prices, and if you can do it individually on individual lines, or it says down below, update all to current prices. So it'll let you do individual ones. And what's nice about this is before you actually update the current price, and this is always shown you this, it shows you in blue the new price if it was updated in the system. So you can make a determination whether or not you wish to update it. In this case, the single line was updated. The next slide I'm showing you here, it shows you where all of the prices were updated to the current prices. Another very useful tool here. And once you do that, the quote is now updated. Now this is only going to show up when you recall a quote. When you're first building the quote, obviously it's going to come up at the price that comes up. But when you go back and recall the quote at a later time, it will give you the opportunity to update it to the current price. All right, getting some of the other features. Buy the 1,000 foot and sell by the stick. So this has been in the system again for quite some time, but I'm just highlighting all the lumber capabilities here. So if you select in the inventory under the pricing screen, MBF, 1,000 board foot, it'll prompt you with putting in the thickness, the width, and the length. And then what it does from there is it does all the calculations. It does the calculations in 1,000 board foot and shows it on the PO. And when you're receiving a PO, all you have to put in is 1,000 board foot cost, the quantity, and it will calculate the stick price as well as the stick cost. And all of that's done automatically for you. In the PO, it shows you both the 1,000 board foot cost and the stick cost as well to make better buying decisions. All right, moving on to stored quotes, orders, and on holds. So as everybody knows, they've seen this pop-up box that comes up. If you actually bring up a customer that has a stored quote or order or special order or on hold, it's going to notify you of that. You don't have to do anything with it. But if you like, you can press F6, get into it, and recall those quotes or special orders or orders. So this is a window that you can turn off. If you don't like that pop-up box coming up, you can turn it off. But it really doesn't get in the way. You can just start scanning just like you would any other invoice, and it will immediately fall off the screen. But it's there to remind you that there's information already stored for this customer. If you go in to recall a transaction, it will show you the quotes, the orders, the special orders, and the on holds that are available for that customer or all customers. All right, so part of that feature is converting quotes into orders. So what does that mean? Well, you just bring up a quote. When you bring up a store quote, there's a new button, F5, says Order Manager. If you press that Order Manager button or press F5, what will happen is it will lock this quote in, and it will set up your, there'll be two lines now, what was quoted, what was sold, and now you can continually bring up this stored quote or order, and you can sell it down. So let's say they come in, they go, oh, I want 10 of these today, I want 1 of these, and I want 2 of those. Great. You just put in the number you want, or you can select auto-populate, and it will auto-populate or auto-fill those quantities. And then you just sell your item. And what it does is it automatically stores the order and maintains a running tab of what was sold and what wasn't sold. Again, very powerful feature. Now, when you bring up the order, and when it identifies that customer has an order and you bring it up, let's say they have an order and a quote, it's going to show you a symbol, that little green symbol with the checkbox means it has been converted from a quote to an order. All right, following this, hide itemized invoice pricing on quotes. Again, very powerful. Your salespeople can put together quotes, but hide or keep quiet or keep suppressed the extended line item information and the individual sale price, and just give the customer a bottom line price, so they won't go and shop around and look for the best prices and only buy the inexpensive items from you and inexpensive items from others. It really does help prevent price shopping your quotes. So how do you get to this? Well, when you generate a quote, you go to the checkout screen, and there is a print quote button there. You press the print quote button, and this option is available. It comes up as unpriced quote. Okay, moving on to special orders. Now, I say it's a new revised process. It's the same special order componentry, but what we've added is a find feature in the special order number. So before, when you used to have a in-store item that you would want to, somebody ordered 1,000 of, and you don't sell 10 but a year, it would potentially skew that item so that the suggested order would calculate out and factor in that figure. Well, there's a way to shut that down, right? You go into the item and you change the adjusted quantity. Well, now you no longer have to do that. Every special order can be found and put in here. So you just go to the order number, put in your item, whether it's an in-stock item or a catalog item, and it will find it regardless of what location it's in. And it will create a new item, which means it's not going to affect your ordering algorithms. Very, very important. It's a great feature, and it kind of changes your world, because no longer do you have to chase items in the inventory where you have anomalies and adjust those amounts. It will automatically create a separate SKU, not interfere with your active inventory item, and allow you to go about your business and very quickly accomplish this. You must activate, if you want to modify, that's another feature we added, where you can modify special orders. You must activate that feature under the File Setup Company tab, Special Orders section. Moving on to contractor reports by project, job, and address. People ask me all the time, can you produce a list of jobs for a particular contractor, and based on a date range? Yes, yes, and yes, you can. Can I get details of that? Yes, yes, you can. So the first thing is, to get the job report, the first thing you want to do is, if your contractor comes in and says, hey, I need a list of all the invoices for this particular job, you just go right into their customer tab or customer module, bring up the customer Go into the credit tab, click on customer friendly for recalling quotes, and it comes up and asks you, what project would you like? And then you can select a project. Based on the project, it's going to put it in the project order and enable you to generate a report. So when you hit the report button at the bottom of the screen, which you see here, it will produce an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can provide that information to your customer. Now, what about producing detailed reports? That's just the high level stuff, right? Here's the invoice, here's the total amount. Well, I want the detail. Fine, we can get that for you as well. Just go into the reports, sales analysis, what I need to know, transaction report, and in there you'll want to put in specific date range. So you don't want all the invoices necessarily the detail. You want just a particular date range, usually a month or a week or even the lifespan of the project, perhaps. Then you ask and request the customer name, set that as one of your criteria, and you go into the next additional settings in box 2 under your reporting, select active project, and there will be a drop down of different projects that you can put in, and from there you can generate your detailed reports. Now these reports will come out. They can either come out in, well, this would be a PDF, and it would put as many on a page as it could. And you could take that PDF and either email it, or you could just print it out and hand it to them right there. All right, moving on to authorized signers verification. So we have authorized signers. So when people come in and they have their subcontractors or their workers for the contractor, they need to be added to the authorized signers list if that's a policy of that particular contractor or of the store. So you can add these different customers or different buyers, authorized buyers, to sign on the account. And if their name's there, great, and it will show up on the invoice with their signature and everything's good. But if their name's not there, you probably want to give a ring to that contractor, make sure that these folks are authorized. Yard order forms. So you can produce a yard order form. There are multiple types, 4 different sizes actually. You've got a half page, a full page, and then you have different formats within those 2 different sizes. You may also set the printer tray, so you can have regular paper coming out on top and down below. You might have a half sheet of hard stock yellow paper to produce a yard order form. Yard orders can either have all the information in the invoice, or they can be limited to just the information that they're picking in the yard. Those printouts can be generated at checkout or actually in the yard. Delivery order forms. Yes, you can produce delivery order forms. So this is just your basic delivery order form. There's a question at the end of the invoice that says, hey, do you want a yard order, delivery form? You want to email this? You want a gift receipt? Well, this is just one of those choices, and it produces a delivery or order form. It includes things like received by, delivered by, date, time stamp. So this is a kind of a hard copy, old-fashioned way to produce a delivery copy. Now, if you use the delivery scheduler, it's going to be a little bit different. Delivery scheduler is going to put more information on the actual invoice. It's going to put the ship to the actual address of where it's going for that particular project. And it also states that it's a delivery item with a scheduled date and time, and any notes and emails and anything else. If now mobile to deliver is part of that delivery scheduler. So when you're in the store, at the end of the invoice, you click on scheduled delivery. You'll see F10 is the key for this. Once you do that, then it's going to prompt you with more information, right? Scheduled delivery. Give me the truck, the duration, the email, everything else. Most of this is auto-populated. The next step, step 3, as you can see on this image, it is to put in the address. Now, if you actually use an address for the project name, it's going to populate with that and you're all done. Next, it's going to ask you to schedule a particular time and resource, and you would just do that. Now, on the delivery mobile side in the field, it's going to produce an email and send that to the customer if you set it up to do auto email notifications for deliveries. And then also you can attach an invoice of that delivery invoice, and it will show up in the customer's email. All right. You can also view the delivery scheduler. Well, so here's the tablet. This is what it would look like in the field. So you'd have a tablet. It would show a list of those customers. You can click on the little three dots there, and it will bring up the GPS locator and escort the driver there. And then once you're there, you can bring up the invoice, and they can sign with their finger, take a photograph, even put notes in and credit items if they wish. And all that's updated in the system in real time. It shows in the delivery scheduler as a status symbol, and the symbol for open is the exclamation point with an orange circle. Delivered would be green with a checkbox. And if they just change their mind and said, oh, I'll be swinging by with my flatbed, I'll just pick it up, that comes out actually as a blue circle with a check. You can also generate a detail delivery scheduler list. So it will produce an Excel spreadsheet with all the deliveries for the day. All right, mobile checkout. You've all heard about this. It's a very powerful feature. This will enable you to sell anything from your store from anywhere in the world at any time. It is hooked up through the cloud. It accesses your machine, and you can add customers to the invoice from your Paladin customer database. You can scan items in using the camera on your device. You can search for items to add. You can search the inventory. You can add items into the invoice manually or by part number or scan them in. Modifying invoice items quantity and price. You can add invoice notes, calculate sales tax. It's all done for you. It uses the sales tax settings in the store. Accept cash, credit card, charge payments. You can also store this as a store transaction. So that's a very effective way to do to honor their pricing plan if they have customized pricing. And you can process item returns as well, all from this device. And this is not the Paladin, invoice application. It is a application was developed specifically to be used in the field. Very simple to use as well. So if you don't already have this, it's a great product. All you need to do is buy an Android tablet. We'll set you up. There's no licensing cost at this point. There's a full-on webinar on this on March 5th. You should probably check that out. That's coming up. Custom discounts and pricing plans. So we all know we can do trade discounts. So all we do is select the customer name, and it applies the appropriate discount. You can set discounts on retail, or you can set markups on your cost, and you can so set that up for different classes, subclasses, departments, suppliers, individuals, companies, customer types. Very, very flexible and very consistent pricing. That is what's important. No more haggling. You can have specialized pricing for specific trades like plumbers, painters, framers, drywallers. They can all have a different price. Also employees, owners, family members, right? All the cashier needs to do is add the customer's name. Minimum margin protection, across the board we have this. We have minimum margin protection when you manually change a price at checkout. You can see on this example, regular price is 89 cents, the minimum allowable is 40. If you go below 40 cents, you're piercing the threshold of profitability for your store. And you can set up these minimum margins across the board or individually by department. It affects the manual price changes at checkout, using the F4 discount button at checkout, during promotional sales, when applying loyalty points, and also when doing prompt payment discounts. We want you to be profitable. And the last feature is accounts receivable. This is a very powerful feature for your contractors and your builders. They need to be able to, put money on account and or put items on charge, and they can do that. We can do this by open item, so they can, you can assign specific invoice payments to specific invoices, or you can do it by balance forward. You can tailor this to each of the customers, things like prompt payment discounts, service charges, past due on holds. All those can be customized, as well as credit limits as well. All right, that concludes all of the features in Lumber that I am discussing and sharing with you today. There are more coming down the pike, and there's obviously all the other features in Paladin that I didn't mention that are also supporting the lumber building materials market. Here are some different resources that you can go to, but I will stress that the new feature splash screen, I see the little star on the right there, that splash screen in the Paladin, when you first bring up Paladin, it's a very powerful window. It's got all the new features in there, documentation. Feel free to search that, search for special orders, search for right click, search for whatever you want, and in most cases that information comes up. Most of the images I'm showing today actually come from that particular resource. So good luck, everybody. I really appreciate all of you spending time today with me. I hope you learned something. Until next time, have a great one. Take care.